For me, there's a simple rule in politics. Never, ever be surprised by what happens in politics.
The face of truth is open. The eyes of truth are bright. The lips of truth are ever closed. The head of truth is upright. The breast of truth stands forward. The gaze of truth is straight. Truth has neither fear nor doubt. Truth has patience to wait. The words of truth are touching. The voice of truth is deep. The law of truth is simple. All you sow, you reap. The soul of truth is flaming. The heart of truth is warm. The mind of truth is clear and firm through rain and storm. Facts are only its shadow. Truth stands above all sin. Great be the battle of life. Truth in the end shall win. The image of truth is the cross. Wisdom's message is its rod. The sign of truth is Christ, and the soul of truth is God. Life of truth is eternal. Immortal is its past. Power of truth shall endure. Truth shall hold to the last.
I don't have to tell you things are bad. Everybody knows things are bad. It's a depression. Everybody's out of work or scared of losing their job. The dollar buys a nickel's worth. Banks are going bust. Shopkeepers keep a gun under the counter. Punks are running wild in the street, and there's nobody anywhere who seems to know what to do, and there's no end to it. We know the air is unfit to breathe, and our food is unfit to eat. We sit watching our TVs while some local newscaster tells us that today we had 15 homicides and 63 violent crimes, as if that's the way it's supposed to be. We know things are bad, worse than bad. They're crazy. It's like everything everywhere is going crazy, so we don't go out anymore. We sit in the house, and slowly the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living room. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. I don't want you to protest. I don't want you to riot. I don't want you to write to your congressman because I wouldn't know what to tell you to write. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crying in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value.
Somebody has asked, where is the Marjorie model? Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of the world's most monitored talk show, and that is NewsSpin on the NewsSpin Facebook page as well as the NewsSpin YouTube channel. And don't forget to subscribe. And the broadcast is also on Power 97.9 FM. In a moment, you'll be part of the conversation when you call 452-2979, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026, and Amanda will be going through some of your comments in the chat room. We hope that you're having yourself an enjoyable Thursday and you're all set to be enlightened, to be educated, as well as to be entertained. Where is the Marjorie model? And that is a question worth asking, because it was just prior to the island's last general election that we saw people coming out in the hundreds, converging on a particular area that was privately owned and calling on the government of the day to intervene on behalf of a private citizen. Well, people are chanting a particular song. It's as if that song was just released. Song performed several decades ago by Anthony Carter, who is better known as the Mighty Gabby. And in the end, through machinations, through pretense, through feigning to love people more than power, Marjorie Lambert got what was due to her. And I don't think that she was ever destined to be robbed of an opportunity to continue to operate at that particular location at Casaba. But you know, there are some people who would use every occasion to empower themselves, and in the guise of trying to empower the people of St. Lucia. And so a precedent was set. If you're existing and living in a particular area, you are earning a living, going forward, no developer should come and just uproot you and unconscionably so say to you, I'll give you pittance, and seek refuge elsewhere, irrespective of how you would be disadvantaged. Because not everyone has the wherewithal to earn a piece of St. Lucia. Not everyone has that ability to have a roof over their head. And we've heard time and time again, there are times when the state must intervene on behalf of the less fortunate. I mean, there are so many people who are squatters in this country, who have lived in a particular area for decades, who have raised their families, who have earned a living, and through no fault of theirs, they have no deed and no title to that land on which they are located. And we have to meet those people halfway. They are not animals, and we know, because we're now more enlightened, we have to treat our animals with compassion, with love, and with respect. Far less those folks who are at Banners Bay. And do not give the impression that developers care about ordinary people, irrespective of whichever country that you're living in, whether it is the United States, whether it's in India, whether it is in Pakistan, or whether it is in St. Lucia. The bottom line for developers is to make profit, an exorbitant profit at that, at the expense of citizens. And it is for the government of that particular jurisdiction to intercede on behalf of those vulnerable people. You're talking about people who have access to millions of dollars, and very often they do not use those finances in the location in which they are seeking to set up shop. They go to the bank. They go to the Bank of St. Lucia. They get a loan. It's the finances of the citizens of that country that they are utilizing. And it's all for profit. And every effort must be made to ensure that the rights of citizens are protected. And that is why the question was asked, where is the Marjorie Lambert model? And that question was asked, I think, rhetorically, by the United Workers' Party candidate for Castries North, Mr. Stephen Favrier, who was on the program Meet the Opposition earlier today.
What happened to the Marjorie model? What happened to, and I'm going to say it, where is civil society in all of this? Where is the National Trust?
Yeah.
Where are those protesters? You have scores of people going to be directly impacted. Their livelihoods, their children. And not a word. Not a word. Not a word. Andrea, that can't be right. It cannot be one standard when UWB is in power and a completely different and altogether unrealistic standard being imposed on the UWB. But then in circumstances where your actions are affecting scores of people, maybe in the hundreds, you are not motivated to accord them the same dignity, the same patient hearing, the same support. That sort of duplicitous politics, we cannot accept it. But guess what? St. Lucians are seeing through it, Andre. I am convinced that St. Lucians are seeing through it, because now the shoe is on the other foot. So I am very, very, very hurt. But more than hurt, I am shocked. I am shocked at the abject lack of attention, care, and consideration being given to those people.
The United Workers' Party candidate for Castries North, Mr. Stephen Fevrier. Now, it's all well and good when in opposition. When you're seeking to win a seat, come across as caring and compassionate, and you will look after the interest of the people. You will be a lot different from the person that you are trying to unseat. I am hoping that if Mr. Fevrier becomes the MP for Castries North, and eventually, if the United Workers' Party forms the government, come the next general election, whether it is later this year or next year, that he will live up to what he is preaching. Because too often, politicians have given the impression that they're putting the people before themselves. They are putting the people first. They are altruistic because, let's face it, you need leaders. You need politicians. You need parliamentary representatives under our current system. You need to have a prime minister. But very often, those people, they use that same system that has landed them in office to disadvantage the people, because the people are helpless, or so it seems, or so they have become, or allow themselves to be, and they find themselves at the mercy of those politicians. And still on that program, Meet the Opposition, there's a particular bowler by the name of Riani Isidore, and off a long run, he decided to engage in a spell of fast bowling and bowled a particular ball at Stephen Fevrier earlier today. And this is how the whole game played out.
Say you are serving in a cabinet.
Correct.
And let's say Spider is the prime minister. Spider has to go on some state business overseas, and you are acting prime minister for the days out. Spider comes back to St. Lucia to discover that whilst he was gone, you, Stephen Fevrier, issued nearly 30 direct awards in less than 24 hours. Again, I remind you of your comments earlier about transparency and having to account to the people and explain all of the activities government ministers engage in. I want to hear from you. How would you treat Spider if he issued 30 direct awards one day after you leave him in charge as acting prime minister?
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Although you cannot mix up the question, you said I was prime minister, now you demote me, man. Anyway, go ahead, Stephen.
So, look, I don't like to engage in hypothetical exercises, but what I would say to you is I don't know the context. I'm not sure if there were previous discussions. I don't know if
That's the point.
These were legitimate contracts. I have no idea. If they were good contracts and they provided jobs and they were in best keeping with best practice, then they're great. If it was something else, then of course I would have different reflections. But I think hypothetical exercises for me are not necessarily helpful. What I would suggest to you, sir, is there are real concerns about transparency and government ministers enriching themselves. There are real concerns about government ministers verbally assaulting women on the airways. There are real concerns about people slurs right now being displaced and losing their livelihoods in Banans Bay, close to the Aliyah development. There are real concerns and livelihood concerns. So, I don't know. I would like to engage you and entertain hypothetics. But look, St. Lucia is at a crossroads. Things are difficult. Things are hard. People are concerned. People are concerned about their livelihoods. People are concerned about maintaining a presence and connection to the land that they earn their living from. These are the questions I find more appealing at this point. Let's discuss what's happening here. The enrichment of ministers, the lack of transparency, the poor service delivery at the hospital, The fact that right now at the airport at Urundora, it is a national embarrassment. You have people, I came on a flight on Monday. We landed. People excited to come off the flight, save them money. Maybe some of them work in all manner of jobs, invested, waited, saved. We landed. Soon as the aircraft door opens, the heavens open. Rain like mad. You have these people walking in the rain. That's how we receiving our guests. That's tourism. And this man is asking about hypothetical questions about direct awards. Seriously? Is this the level of our thinking and analysis and care about the country? Trying to score cheap political points?
Batsman Stephen Favre reacting to a short pitch delivery bowled by Riani Isidore. 4522979, 4522979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Let's see if we have a WhatsApp message. Oh my goodness, this UWP candidate was awesome with this response. We have our first call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Hi, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir.
This is the parliamentary representative for Shozal Solidibus, Bradley Felix.
Yes, Mr. Felix. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Yes. I would quickly want to make a contribution based on the response I heard Mr. Favre give to Riani earlier. And, Tim, I want to let you know that out of these 30 direct awards that they're referring to, 12 or 13 of them were directly related to Shozal Saltibus when we were doing the Saltibus Road. I was of the view as a parliamentary rep that one contractor could not have so much concrete work. I can understand when it comes to the asphalt, we may not have the expertise, but I felt there were too many contractors in the Saltibus area that could have done concrete work. And I negotiated with the contractor, and we were able to carve out an amount, and we were able to issue a number of small contracts for the people of the community to engage in, lifting the whole economic situation. So, in cases like that, as a parliamentary rep, you assess the situation, you determine what is best for your community and your resident and your constituents, and you make a decision. So I want to let the people who have been inquiring and the people who are maliciously trying to create some sort of mischief out there, that sometimes you give direct awards to directly benefit the people of your community, especially when there are competencies in your constituency and you know that the work can be done to proper standards. Thank you very much, Tim.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. 4522979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Again, 716-2026. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Tim, the so-and-so that tried that nonsense with Stephen, tell mates start packing his bags and start shredding documents. Okay. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message to go through. Good day, Tim. There's a clip of towards the end of Kakal's performance in the tent over the last weekend where Donaldville is flinging and then proceeded to kicking an item of clothing toward the back of the stage. We Aleutians need to understand that there is a difference between entertainment, but doing an action repetitively brings it to a level of distastefulness, like you have a point to prove. I saw that many people are applauding his actions while some deemed it unprofessional. In my opinion, there were many other ways he could have entertained the crowd, like asking Kakal to collect the item, returning it to the owner in front of the stage, etc. No matter who you are, people need to take accountability when they act wrongfully in a situation. Furthermore, he shouldn't have been to the front of the stage anyway, giving his reaction towards Kakal while performing. Then again, who am I to say was distasteful when PJP said the yellow shirt vaguely him? And we have another WhatsApp message, and it reads, so they sent a short ball at Favre. That was no short ball. It was a wide down the leg side. Well played, Stephen. And some more of your messages once again at 716-2026. WhatsApp calls 716-2026, and also the landline 452-2979. Tim, this guy is very coherent and logical in his delivery. Another call. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you on the air.
Good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yes, I'd like to big up Bradley on the timely response to the follow-up to Stephen's Favori's response to our bowlers, as you so called him. You know, like they said, in the absence of information, there will be speculation. Now, like you said, like I think Bradley said, they could use that information, and that's not the first time we're hearing about this. Saying Mr. Guy Joseph give 40-something direct award contracts, you know, and like Bradley clearly stated, that is to help the people. And if you know exactly what it is, and one contract was already given to one person, but then in the interest of the people of the community, he split up the contract to help those people he knew that had the competence to do it. And that is how you serve the people, you know. But they're going to take that and make it seem as if it was something that was done a batab and attach some malicious intent to it, you know. And that is just so clearly what happened. I was just very glad that Bradley was able to clarify what exactly transpired. So now they cannot use that to speculate and say it was some kind of corrupt practice. But unlike right now, when people are asking for information with regards to what happened with that loan that was taken by the National Lotteries Association, and all those other GPH deals and all those other things where they're not giving any information, you know. Because if it is all above board, like Bradley just did, this is what happened. You know, you explain when people ask you, but you do come and say that is not your business, that's not any of your business. When people are asking for information as to how the country's money is being spent.
Okay,
you know?
Colin.
So, like I said, without information, people will always want to assume the worst.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. We have another call via WhatsApp. Hello and good afternoon to you. You are on the air.
Tim.
Hello, good afternoon.
Tim, good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon, sir.
Guy Joseph here. And that question that Riani put out there was in direct relation to an accusation. Now, here's the part of the equation that they have not told the people of St. Lucia. Every one of 30 direct awards came from the Ministry of Infrastructure. And who was the Minister of Infrastructure at the time? Stevenson King. There is no direct award that comes to a Prime Minister, an acting Prime Minister, to be signed that is not from a ministry and not recommended by the Minister and the Permanent Secretary, or at least the Permanent Secretary with the knowledge of the Minister. So I can tell you, Jackie Williams was the in the Prime Minister's office at the time. When they brought the thing of the 30 direct awards to me, I said, Jackie, y'all giving me all of these direct awards to sign? And she said, well, the work needs to be done. The project, I spoke to Bradley, and Bradley is very correct about the information that he gave. So it is clear. I almost felt that the Ministry of Infrastructure was setting me up. I'm telling you, because you can ask Jackie what my conversation was with her, because I wasn't comfortable signing the 30 direct awards. And in the 30 direct awards, only one project was in Castries Southeast. That's the retaining wall by Cyril's place opposite Hess or Buckeye now. So the minister, Stevenson King, why Riani would not look at the information and say, but why would a minister recommend to the Prime Minister 30 direct awards from his ministry? You see, that is the part of the information that is missing. And as Bradley indicated, we could have signed one direct award and give one person a contract for $200,000. But you could have cut the same 200 into 10 packages of 20,000 and give the amount. So what Riani should have said was, what was the value of the 30 direct award? Was it $30 million? Was it 10 million? Was it 5 million? Because that is the misleading information that is given. But Stevenson King is the one responsible. And could you imagine if I, as acting Prime Minister, refused to sign a direct award for a line ministry that the permanent secretary has requested? All prime ministers and acting prime ministers would do it. But find out from that whether there was any direct award from the Ministry of Economic Development for which I was responsible. That is how they mislead people with fake information to make it look as if something was wrong. How many direct awards have they signed? 265 million on St. Jude's. Isn't it a direct award? What is it that is going on there with this government today? With all the direct awards that are being issued, the projects, 80 million for the stadium, the Darren Sammy Crown, all of these things. Where are the contracts? Who has signed them? Who vetted these contracts? These are the things. I've told them, Tim, I have a clean record. Go and find out the value of these contracts and find out if it's not Ivor Daniel's signature as permanent secretary requesting on behalf of the Ministry of Infrastructure. All these direct awards was made on behalf of Stevenson King as the minister.
Thank you so much for calling, sir. You just heard there from former government minister, Mr. Guy Joseph. Let me turn my attention to Amanda. Let's find out directly from you what's happening in the chat room.
Good afternoon, Tim. Good afternoon, New Spinners. Tim and New Spinner says here, the developers are much more important than citizens. Another commentator reads, it's all talk in this country, no action, no protest. That's why this government taking us for their papi show. A New Spinner says here, land located by Sikh government once not suitable for citizens. That's crazy. Another commentator says, Marjorie Lambert model only working when UWP is in power. Someone says Ferrier was very professional in the way he answered Riani. Another commentator reads, that is what I am talking about, Castries North, and he hits a 6 ball on the boundary line. Yes. A New Spinner says Riani deserves no explanation. He needs to tell us what he did. What did he gain from calling all these bomb scares? Another commentator reads, don't usually comment, but this gentleman is a real politician. Another commentator says, we need to know about the exo. Okay, I read that yesterday. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Let us see if we have a call on the landline. In the meantime, let me go through a WhatsApp message. And it says there, if Bradley, Guy, and then Prime Minister Chasney had explained like they're doing now, we may have had a different outcome in the 2021 general election. And let's see, there another one says there, first Sir Flood Bobra, now Stephen Favre. Riani, you need to try again, take that back and bowl it better. Another WhatsApp message. And the person says there, I myself have a hypothetical question. What if you, the Prime Minister in charge of the special prosecutor, and a certain person was employed by the government and that person has gone through the court system for certain alleged offenses yet to be resolved? Would you call upon him to investigate, or would you, for that matter, look into the issue? We have a call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon, NewsSpin. You are on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Tim.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon to you, caller.
Yeah, Mr. Tim, I was listening to Mr. Bradley and Mr. Guy Joseph. They was giving a speech there. Mr. Tim, I could tell you something. Mr. Tim, when Bradley, he's true he is an MP, but when they was in government, Mr. Tim, I from shoes, I could tell you that. Mr. Tim, especially the school, if the school had 4 works to do, maybe build desks, maybe put a little tiles, maybe do something. Bradley Felix, Mr. Tim, wasn't giving one person the contract. If they had 4 works to do in the school, Bradley Felix was dividing that in 4. At that time, everybody is in a bread. Right now, he's an MP, but I don't know if they're doing him that like a measure stay. They're not giving him work. They're giving one person, one man. I don't know how he gets in the job, but one man doing all the works. Mogul School, Delsey School, Reunion School, all government school. One man. He hiring his people, he eating bread. And from that time, we, Bradley Felix, we don't form the government. That's what been going on in Choiseul. So my people, if there is a contract for $100,000 in a school or any contract, Bradley not giving one person that, you could be his brother. You could be his best friend. He's saying, Thomas, people put me in office to work for them. And that's why, that's what we need from government. That's what we need from ministers. But in Choiseul, it don't go so. And I give my name, Thomas Eugene is my name, and I'm afraid to say that. You know, when Flabo was in office or they're doing a canal, if they're doing a 300-foot canal or 200-foot canal, they're cutting it. So at that time, everybody eating. But now, they're not going on so. And I'm calling on we St. Lucian people, if we want better for ourselves, move that Labour Party regime in office. All they does is just give story upon story upon story. And I'm telling you something, as I tell you, I'm a self-employed welder. I'm not suffering an issue. I'm feeling it in the supermarket. I'm feeling it in the gas pump. I'm doing all of that. That's why I decide maybe I'll have to sell my vehicle and buy a horse, because price of gas is too high. And when Flabo get in office, I'll maybe buy another vehicle. But for time, I'm going to sell it and buy a donkey. So I'm sending a message for we St. Lucian people. Let we don't play politics. Let we balance and analyze till we finalize which are the government when they was in office we were surviving better. Have a wonderful day, Mr. Tim.
You do, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution. Let me see if I have any more of your WhatsApp message while we check the landline to see if we have any calls. Let's see there. Somebody says via WhatsApp. Let me try to access this WhatsApp message. Okay, just bear with me while we try to access as many of them as possible. Somebody says that, Tim, a couple months ago I called NewsSpin about a 40-foot trailer that is parked along the fence of the Bannon's playing field, just about 12 inches off the main road. By now I expected the traffic department would have taken action, seeing they are on that road daily. Maybe they are waiting for an accident to occur first and talk about investigation and then act. God forbid. And let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. Somebody says there, Tim, that was a short ball dispatched for 6. Another WhatsApp message. These are comments I've sent to YouTube and they quickly removed it. Okay, I'm not interested in those comments. Let's take a WhatsApp call. Good afternoon, NewsSpin, you're on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, my brother. Good
yes,
afternoon. Good
brother
afternoon.
Pato,
Yeah.
good afternoon to you.
Yeah, and good afternoon, Amanda.
Good afternoon, caller.
Yeah. I listened to the comment there for the welder. I like his speech. I like the way he pronounced things. You understand? So I just want to say bravo to you, welder. I don't know his name. I just call him welder. Brother Tim, there's a message for the people at Bannon. I just want to say, if they leave it, they lose it. They have to stay on it to get it, because things are not going right. That is not a fair deal. So I'm saying again, if they leave it, they lose it. Stay on it to get it. I don't know if you know about that, brother Tim. There was some kind of cricket we used to play. They're still doing it. They call it Wooly Laba. It's like wild cricket.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And
we used to play that a lot. Now the pitch.
That's under-arm bowling.
Under-arm bowling.
Yeah.
We call it Wooly Laba. Yeah. Now the pitch was not that, the pitch is there, but the field was not that wide. So all around it was bushy, you know? And when you hit that ball, it did not have nothing like 6 or 4. You have to run. and the other side going and search for the ball. Now, with one ball, you know you can do 20 runs, you can do 50 runs, because sometimes it is hidden in grass or somewhere, and you cannot find the ball. So the ball, the batsman is just still running, right? So I'm saying all of this to say, I think they did 101 runs on that loose ball. It was not a 6, they hit him 4 there. Yeah, I think they scored 101 run on that loose ball. The other thing is, when the Prime Minister says, now I don't have nothing against the Prime Minister as a human being, you know, but it's just the way he does things and the way he says things. When you talk about no hatred, you don't hate anybody, there's not hatred in you. When there's no hatred in you and you win the election, but you still tell the people to go in their faces, that is in the enemy's faces, because that is how we look at it today. If you win, you're on the other side, you lose, that's your enemy. That is how they have it. And go in their face and tell them they lose. That is not love. You was in a church where you and Mr. Shastny were there, and you all had to make it right. You know, the people can see that you all are together. You did not shake his hands. That was not love, you know. So I don't know if he must think that everybody has turned moo in St. Lucia, and that we cannot see, we cannot hear, we cannot understand. And they are doing anything they want and saying anything, and we have to agree with all of the things. The people that are doing the crime, you know, he's not hard on them, but the people that are talking about what is happening, you know, the people that lose their loved ones, you know, to give the news, that is a problem. That is the problem. But the people that are committing the crime, I don't think he has a problem with it, because he's not doing nada, I say. He's not sending them to do the crime. I will not say he's doing that. But where is the punishment? Where is what is happening after the crime? Okay? So I will leave it as that. It was 101 once they score on that partner day.
Okay, Padu. Thank you so much, Dr. Padu, for your contribution. And let's see if we have some more of your contributions. Somebody says that this was an excellent contribution by Stephen Favre this morning, well articulated and down to earth. Some more of your WhatsApp messages. Hey team, I want to know the halls of justice that the government is building. Will we have a better justice system, or will we have the same corrupt system? One more contribution. I heard you played a... okay, we'll not go through this one. Let's see if we have some more WhatsApp messages. And let's see if we are on the landline, if we have any calls. 4522979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. And let me see there if I could go through another contribution at this point in time. Maybe Amanda, you can step in. Let's see if we have any WhatsApp messages to go through, or any discussions in the chat room. Sorry.
Just a few from my team. A NewsSpin says $265 million for St. Jude's direct award given to one person. Guy would have given 30 people contracts from that. Another commentary reads, playing devil's advocates. With elections a few minutes away, the Red Party seems to be working very hard and now looking for the evidence of yesteryear's scope of works. My tagline, keep on looking. A NewsSpinner says there, the Grand Riviere playing field, the Marshall playing field, Babono playing field, VG playing field, who are the contractors? Another commentary reads, that's the same thing in Central Castries, one team eating bread only. Someone says there, in relation to Bradley Felix and Guy Joseph's comments on the direct award contracts, this is an excellent example why public access to information and the Secrecy Act must be enacted. The public would have access to this information and not be fooled by political stooges. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda, for that update. Still to come, we have some more updates and extracting some comments from the Facebook page. And of course, we'll continue to entertain your calls. This is the most monitored talk show in the world. UltraMed Health Services is a trusted provider of comprehensive medical care, offering a wide range of services from urgent care, laboratory services, and advanced ultrasound diagnostics. UltraMed Health Services is conveniently located in Rodney Bay behind the Baywalk Mall. Give them a call at 715-8484, 715-8484, 287-8484, 287-8484. Or to book your medical appointment today, call 572-8484, 572-8484. Ultra Med Health Services is located in Rodney Bay behind the Baywalk Mall. Still to come, an assessment of this year's Calypso season so far.
Carnival just got crunchier with KFC. It's time to fat, win, and feast with the Carnival Crunch Box. For just $30, get a Big Crunch or Zinger sandwich, 3 crunchy strips, a dipping sauce, regular fries, a 16-ounce soda, and a biscuit. But wait, that's not all. Every Carnival Crunch Box gives you a chance to win big.
Costumes from legends, fusion just for fun too. Ixuvo tribe of 12, come jump with your crew. Get your receipts, write your name and number down. Drop it in the box, you can be jumping in town. Win tickets to mess, sun up, escape and more. Plus KFC vouchers to keep you crunching for sure.
Promotion runs June 1st to July 20th. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Do whatever they crunch you want.
Lazarus's Funeral Home is here for you. Lazarus's Private Cemetery offers a peaceful resting place for your loved ones. With tranquil settings, visitation, and reflection, we believe in the compassionate care of all our departed loved ones. Lazarus's Private Cemetery, let us help you create a final resting place. Make it special. Make it Lazarus's Funeral Home, your friend in a time of need. Payment plans are available for tombs. Call us in Vidbute at 452-7491 or in New Dock Road, VA4, 454-6555.
Lucilec aveti ou pour point précaution durant saison cyclone ça là. Mi un petit commission qui kaywen de ou protéger la vie ou ek propriétaire ou. Couiller Lucilec avant ou trim et bien couper pied bois qui pouet ligne électrique. Veillez pour ligne courant électrique avant ou monter l'échelle. Fait assurer l'échelle, scaffold et bout d'outil ou ka servi pas venir moins qui 10 pieds hors ligne courant électrique. Pas jamais servi appliance et ben outils qui ka servi courant électrique. Des wall côté qui mouillé et ben en la pli. Ça c'était en commission hors Lucilec.
In the blink of an eye, disaster can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside. It beats in every soul, a feeling we cannot It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk. It's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart. Who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pumping.
Why suffer in silence? At La Clinique de Corps, an approved universal healthcare clinic, you now have direct access to a team of internationally trained specialists from the US, France, Cuba, Venezuela, and more right here in St. Lucia. We treat chronic pain, sciatica, arthritis, lupus, nerve damage, carpal tunnel, and more with precision and care. We also offer advanced diagnostic nerve testing to detect hidden issues early before they become serious. All health insurances accepted. We assist you every step of the way. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950 today. La Clinique de Corps, where healing begins.
Essie, don't tell me that tire flat again. I just changed that tire.
Wait, what? You just changed that tire?
Well, I bought a used one because you didn't give me enough money.
Oh, I see. Well, you know what? Chivi's Tire Shop only carry brand new quality tires at affordable prices with free installation.
Hey, it seems you're working at Chivi's Tire Shop. How you know all that?
Come on, Brenda. The tire shop down the road from our home in the American Drywall Building.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Well, you know what, Patrick? Let's go there right now. Take your wallet. Let's go.
Chivi's Tire Shop, located at the American Drywall Building, Vic Boutte. Call or WhatsApp 584-5986. Chivi's Tire Shop. Pay less, drive more.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
I've been going to Calypso tents from 6 years old. My dad, Pan Andrew, the Big Six Orchestra, was the band backing up every Calypso in St. Lucia. So I took to the music. I've had bands myself. I've been into Calypso on both ends, as a accompanying band and stuff like that. And I've watched the development. Tim, I've never written a political song, especially from 2016 and up, because of what I saw going on in the tents. There are people who refuse. People, pundits were talking about, the clientele, it was going down, the patrons were. Tim, it got so bad in the tent that exactly what you said, that it became so politicized in the tent that, Tim, it's like a syndicate. It's like a syndicate. If our pool of writers in St. Lucia is very small. I'm part of that pool. I hear a song, after the second line, I'll tell you who write it. So when one writer can write 16 songs and peddle it against one government, and the other thing we have to take into consideration, who are the ones singing the Calypso? Are the intellects, are the educated, and I'm not downing anybody, but who's singing the Calypsos? Are the ones waiting for January, February to say, boy, give me a Calypso, what do you have to sing on that? So when one writer can peddle 16 songs against a government, okay, and disperse it into a particular tent, are you doing the art form a favor? No. And people, St. Lucia is small. We know who in the tent supports who and who does not. So it does not have to be like that. A performer is on stage. We should go there with that camaraderie, that it's a musical production, and that we're going to enjoy. And I seen a guy saying, "Oh no, brother Odlum, you just cannot win the election, like you want to cause a disaster." And he's in the tent having fun, and everybody's having fun. It's not like that, Tim. It's not like that now. It has become too political. The Calypso in St. Lucia has become too political. The people who are coming there are not coming there to enjoy Calypso. They come in there to support their party, and if you don't sing for their party, they're going to boo you. And that's bad. That's bad for the art form. And that is my take. It's bad for the art form. And it goes back to who's writing the Calypsos, who's singing the Calypsos, and...
Because normally in terms of social commentary, the spotlight and the focus would be on the stewardship of the government of the day, and not on the opposition. No. Now, I've not been to the tents over several years now, and deliberately so.
Deliberately, it's not good.
But I get the impression that most of the songs that are social commentaries, they are literally praising the government and castigating, or to use Dr. Kenny Anthony's one of his favorite words, excoriating the opposition, as if the opposition has been in power for nearly 4 years now.
Yeah.
And I find this very strange.
Because I know the writers. I know the writers. I function in different aspects of this society. When I criticize something, I jump in it. Because I know the writers. And this is what's been going on. And, you know, if we have more, I see certain things more on the developmental path to develop the Calypsonians, to help them write, so the intellectual property could belong to them, saying they get performance rights, they get intellectual property rights. That's not happening. That's not happening. I want you to sing against that government. I write a song. And the fact that now political parties are paying for the productions of the songs. There's not an association. Association now depends on the subvention from government. What do you do?
You just heard there from a well-known St. Lucian entertainer Buffalo. He was my guest on last evening's Newsmaker Live. A St. Lucian entertainer who has been living and working in the U.S. for quite some time, now is calling the broadcast. He is on WhatsApp. Good afternoon to you. This is NewsSpin. You are on the air. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon to you, Tim.
Good afternoon to you, sir.
How are you doing?
I'm all right. How about you?
I'm hanging in there, man, and it's a while I haven't called you.
It has been several years now.
Probably 3.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I tried calling your program last night, but I wasn't able to get through. But in regards to what's happening in Calypso in St. Lucia right now, I just want to take you to the genesis of how this came about with the Calypso Management Committee. Sometime between, I think, 2015 and 16, there was a lot of talk going on social media about trying to reform the Calypso Association. It was a lot of back and forth between past members of the association, tent leaders, etc. I never really got involved in it, but I took advantage when then Prime Minister Kenny Anthony came to New York with Jimmy Fletcher, and when they were having the question and answer session, I went up to the mic and I asked him whether he was aware of what was going on in the Calypso Association in St. Lucia. And he said he didn't have a clue. I then said to him, well, Jimmy is here with you. I know he goes to the tents and he follows Calypso. Probably he should brief you as to what's going on. And then I went on to tell him, right now it's in a crisis, and I was suggesting that what they do to come to the aid of the Calypso Association was to assist them for 2 years. That was the idea. Help them for 2 years, and during that 2 years, mandate them to work on restarting the Calypso Association. That was where this was supposed to go. Next thing I heard, it was Calypso Management Committee. I figured they would go with the idea that I gave them to do it for 2 years, but it went on and on. I actually spoke to a couple Calypsonians and asked them, you know, what are we doing about trying to reform the Calypso Association? And the response was, it's better the way it is because now they don't have to go and chase sponsors and that sort of thing. So right now, to me, and I'm not talking politics or taking sides, to me, right now, the government in power right now has hijacked the Calypso, well, not Calypso Association, but the Calypsonians in general, because of what I'm seeing, although I try not to follow too much of what's going on with the performances, but from what I'm seeing, they have hijacked the whole situation. When the idea that I gave to them, which I'm not saying they have to take my idea, was to assist them for 2 years while they try to reform the association. So, you know, I want to say basically I probably take responsibility for some of what is going on right now, but, you know, it is what it is.
All right, sir. Thank you so much for your contribution, calling from New York. St. Lucian Calypsonian Teddy Z. 452-2979, 452-2979. Your WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026, 716-2026. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Tim, it is disingenuous for Calypso writers to pen songs for political gain and profit, which are contrary to reality. Let's see if we have another WhatsApp message. It says there, do right now. Government paying itself to sing Calypso against their opponents. And another WhatsApp message. It is clearly defined undignified manner at claiming to represent the masses by whatever means. They're seeking the fame. No, sorry, my apologies there. Let me see there. What is very impressive was the way Stephen Favre expressed his ability to address caller Rihanna Isidore's malicious spinning direct award of contracts. What a farce, intended to score points against the former administration. This caller bowled a googly, but was put away by a well-focused batsman. Stephen Favre knows how to articulate his intentions to the public, as he's been a career diplomat all his working life. And let's see if we have some more of your messages. Good afternoon, Tim. Who has the contract for the Jeremy Street Plaza? We want to know. Well, the relevant authorities, I'm sure, would be providing you with the answer to that question. Message to PJP, I'm sorry, but day after day I'm seeing that you are not capable of bringing this country forward. Please call the elections. Enough is enough. And that is not according to me, it's according to a WhatsApp message I just went through. So continue to send me those WhatsApp messages and, of course, continue to call the broadcast. Let's see if we have any of your comments to go through. Amanda.
Bear with me, team. I'm trying to access the comments. Okay. And NewsSpin says there all these are signs of a communist government to control the narrative. Commentary reads, what can you gain from a prime minister who is sending condolences to the dead? Another commentary reads, we need to call it what it is, fascism. It doesn't present itself openly, it starts with subtle moves like the ones being made by the government. First, neutralize the press, silence the voices of dissent, control the voices that usually provide social commentary, peddle them versus us narrative, pretty soon, you will have the authoritarian society you covet. That's it for me today.
All right, thank you so much, Amanda. 452, let's see if you have a call on the line, 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. In the meantime, let me see there if we have a WhatsApp message. What are you saying? We have some WhatsApp messages from yesterday. Somebody says there, here we go again. The difference between the SLP and the UWP is that if it were SLP in opposition, they would be at Bannon singing, Jack, don't want me to bathe on my beach. They would do not even if it does matter. So why do we not doing it for something so egregious? Why not protest? If United Workers' Party wins, the special prosecutor should be either investigated or prosecuted because there cannot be situations where documents have to be presented as evidence and the government officials have failed to provide it, example in CIP, etc. What happened to the first AK that was allegedly stolen from the police and later returned to them? Was anybody arrested? Is the special prosecutor investigating? Was government negotiating with criminals or was the gun taken in error? Have investigations concluded and should we forget about it as citizens? Is anybody here to answer these questions? 452-2979, WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Who is the contractor and what's the cost of the repairs being done on the Jeremy Street Plaza? More questions being asked, but I'm sure that those are questions that definitely you would like to pose to the relevant authorities. Let's see there if we have some more. Somebody says there via WhatsApp. Tim, back on May 26th, I posted a message on NewsSpin that I was not voting for any prime minister who outsourced our budget. Alan Shastney called and explained that very much appreciated. Now, Mr. Shastney, tell me the plan for agriculture in St. Lucia. Incidentally, Mr. Shastney is not my guest on this afternoon's NewsSpin program. Tim, the government has hijacked the press and now the Calypso fraternity. That is according to a WhatsApp message. I could tell you that no one at all, whether it's opposition or government, none of them have hijacked this, the most monitored talk show in the world. That is why both the opposition as well as the government, they are monitoring this program as we speak. It's not that they have not attempted to hijack NewsSpin, but the owner of the broadcast or the program would certainly not allow this to happen. Call via WhatsApp. Good afternoon. NewsSpin, you are on the air.
Yes, Tim. Good
Yes.
afternoon.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon
And
to
your
you.
listeners, good afternoon. Timothy, I have two matters I want to speak about. One is the amount of wickedness. I can actually use the word wickedness when it comes to our Prime Minister, Philip J. Pierre. Philip J. Pierre and them, I heard the public asking about them not being at Hubert Spear funeral. Okay, I called to give the reason. Hubert Pierre was working for Red Cross. And as far as I know, Red Cross is not politics. It's not political. You serve everybody. You called the man and you said to him that you understand he's serving United Workers' Party Flabo members. And he said that he don't know who the people vote. When he come and ask for help, he will not know who the people voting for, and he will not ask that. The people come for help, the people need help. And he make a big fracas with the man about that. The medal, the cross, the man's name was up for the medal because of the problem you have with him. And you suppose is you the peace supporters, you prevent him from getting the medal.
Now, caller, that's a very sensitive issue that you're raising there, because if you're making an allegation against the Prime Minister, he is not on the broadcast. I mean, to say or to counter what you're saying and to say that is not true, or to deny it, or to clarify whatever he's saying.
Timothy, you might think is an allegation, but I would not take my time to call you on NewsSpin to tell you no allegations.
Who are you, ma'am? Who are you?
I'm Hubert Spear's sister-in-law. He was married to my sister.
Okay.
Okay? I'm not telling you a story. The second one, I'm a caregiver for the past 13 years. I work with that nice program, which when that program came along, I was very happy because the elderly people in St. Lucia need a lot of support and a lot of help. And when that came in, I was happy. But it changed now. It has a lot of politics. It's like everything changing in St. Lucia. You have to be struggling to be a St. Lucian. You have to be struggling to get work. You know what happened just a week ago? I've been a worker for Stevenson King for a while. And that was a man I loved. You know that word love, Timothy? Loved. And the young lady that passed, the teacher, I happened to be her caregiver. And she called our rep. At that time, he used to be our rep. And she asked him for help. Do not tell me speculation because I'm telling you what hurt me. She called him and she asked him if he can give us some help because it's kind of tough for her. She have exhausted all her money in Matnik going up and down, up and down. And right now, she need him to help her, a sick person on a bed. She said to him that she have me taking care of her and she cannot afford to pay me. So she would be very happy if he would help. He would chip in to help her to pay me. A sick person on a bed asking you for help and you would say to her, I don't have anything to do with such and such a person. Okay? The person don't have anything to do with me, so I don't have anything to do with her, which in the sense that the last election I did not support him because of his stunts. I realized what he was doing was not in favor of the government, the party, and not for us. That you would go ahead and make us believe that you're going up independent, and in the long run that the SLP did not send no candidate. So I figured out that you're already going up for them. What do a sick person on a bed have to do with politics, asking you for help? You telling the young lady that you have nothing to do with the person she asking you to help as a politician. Some of these people that come in up presenting themselves as candidates, they are selfish, they are self-centered, they are wicked, forgetting that each one of us need a hand. Each one of us needs somebody. At that time, the girl was very vulnerable. God bless her soul, she passed. You telling her, you putting politics in she asking you for that help, Timothy. I hope he hearing me and he do not attend that funeral service, because the girl needed you at the time and you turn her off. You tell her, because of politics, since I did not support you, you will not help her. It's time for us to put our foot down at some of the people that come to represent us. They put in division. They put in division in family. They put in division against each other. Since you are SLP supporter and I am a Flobo supporter, we cannot be friends anymore. We cannot laugh together anymore. We cannot stand. We cannot hold a conversation. And I'm telling you, Kenny Anthony started it. And Philip J. Pierre representing him take his place. Philip J. Pierre is the worst minister and prime minister I've ever seen in St. Lucia, Timothy. I'm telling it to you openly. And that's how I see that the man put in a lot of division, a lot of problems, and he encouraging a lot of hate. I pray to God that change, because we all need others. We need each other. When we lie down sick, the fastest thing to help you is when you can see your friends, Timothy. When somebody can show you that they care and they come by your bedside. I had to call you to tell you these things, because these things and what's going on in the country, it's not good. That is the worst set of government minister I've ever seen in my life in St. Lucia. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. And it's not speculation. I am telling you off my heart. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon.
You too, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. Always finding myself in a very difficult position. And some of you in the chat room are always castigating me, not very kind to me. For example, somebody said it's time to put Timothy in a concom. That's one. And another person said, Timothy, ou toujours là? You must understand the peculiar situation that I'm in this hot seat. And it's for a specific reason that this broadcast is the most monitored. I know it is being monitored. And I've been warned by certain politicians that you think it's difficult now. One told me, we are in the silly season. And lawsuits will be flying left, right, and center. Because it's all about the chilling effect. It is not about coming tomorrow or later and counteracting what this lady just said. It is all about proving that you have the financial resources to take me to court and to try to shut me up, and to see the end of this broadcast, which is a thorn in the side of the politicians in St. Lucia. It is not a case of being afraid. It is a case of being extremely careful, and it is a case also of being responsible. I cannot just allow people in a willy-nilly, irresponsible manner to just cast aspersion, make allegations against politicians, whether they're on the side of the UWP or the St. Lucia Labour Party, or even an ordinary citizen. And you too, who see me as a coward, you too would want me to protect your reputation if somebody were to call the broadcast and to level certain allegations against you. Now, I have the scars to show that I have been there before. There was one particular instance when a couple government ministers and operatives of the St. Lucia Labour Party, talking about 4 or 5, took me to court. And this was well orchestrated to the extent that my then manager at RCI told me, Tim, I know they are not after this radio station because they did not take legal action against us. They took legal action against you. And even when I apologized, issued apology after apology, in the Voice, in the Star, in the Mirror, in the Crusader newspaper, on radio, and on television, 3 or 4 years later, when I thought that matter had settled, I got a call that the matter is appearing before a particular judge. And I said, but I thought that had ended. But you're still criticizing the government, I was told. But you're still criticizing us. So we have reopened the case. And things were settled. This I could tell you because those are not the kind of things that you share with your mother, with your children, those who are close to you. And my mother took this to heart. She was alive at the time. And I've said this before. This certainly impacted my daughter. So I know and I understand it. I've long passed the stage where I would allow anyone, any politician to bully me. It will never, ever happen again. I assure you. But I know that the huge responsibility that I have as a talk show host, as a broadcaster, and also as a journalist. This again is the most monitored talk show in the world. Still to come, more of your calls and your WhatsApp messages.
On Saturday, June 14th, as the island ignites at Lumina, taking over Project Chocolat, Mikal Teja. Mikal Teja. Mikal Teja.
Lauren say it cold out in New York City. If you hear she ballin', I need a little rundown.
Alongside soca sensations Ezra and Slide. Backed up by the electrifying Impulse Band. Music by Hype Kid, A1 Jugglers, the Caleb DJ Sir Lancelot. Powered by Island Sounds. Hosted by MC Donoville. Tickets $130, no door sales. Get yours at the Cell Island-wide, Mambo's Bar in Soufriere, or online at 4circlestickets.com. On Saturday, June 14th, Lumina. From 7 p.m. to 1:30 a.m. Dress code Caribbean chic.
Prepare for the hurricane season by ensuring trees and other objects on your property won't get tangled in overhead wires. Be careful. Ensure ladders and tools don't come within 10 feet of power lines. If a tree is near electrical lines, don't try to trim it yourself. Contact Lucelec at 452-2165 or 454-6617. Be smart. Stay safe.
It all started with a penny. For over 85 years, we have invested in our farmers, fishermen, people, and our country. When we were called to serve, we were here. We understand what is valuable to our people and our country. That is why we support all industries, including tourism. We are the bridge towards a brighter future and economic growth. When our people, government, and businesses called upon us, we were here. 85 years later, First National Bank St. Lucia Limited is here for you.
It's the energy of we people, something pulsing inside, it beating every soul, a feeling we cannot hide. It's always pushing us forward, the limit up in the sky. There's rhythm in how we flow, a rhythm that can't be denied. It's in the feeling in how we talk, it's in the meaning in our spark. It is the thing that sets us apart, who we are, 'cause the rhythm of life keeps pulsing.
ready with Guinness and fly to St. Kitts. Guinness St. Lucia is giving you a shot at an all-expense-paid trip to the St. Kitts Music Festival, June 26th to 28th, 2025. Experience top dancehall and soca acts from across the region. Buy 2 Guinness or 2 Guinness Smooth to enter. Drop your receipt in promo boxes or DM to We Brew Vibes on Instagram. You must be 18 and over to participate with a valid passport. Prize is non-transferable. Promotion runs May 12th to June 16th with the big draw on June 18th. Plus, look out for Guinness block parties, giveaways, and specials island-wide. Travel sponsored by Sunrise Airways. Guinness, made of more.
I in a good spirit. I drink in a good
St.
spirit.
Lucia, are you ready for the ultimate all-inclusive?
Chalet Blanc, the all-white event. Tier 1 now available at Frontline Ticketing, Eventbrite, Digicel Baywalk Mall, 4 Circles Ticketing, or WhatsApp at 240-344-8629. A musical journey curated by the best local and international DJs. St. Lucia Carnival Saturday, July 19th, 1 p.m. to 8 p.m.
At Sanders Golf and Country Club, Kappa State.
Look something to talk about.
Unlimited drinks, brunch buffet, top-class entertainment.
Stay tuned. This event is powered by One Golden Fox and Natalie Events.
Why suffer in silence? At La Clinique de Corps, an approved universal healthcare clinic, you now have direct access to a team of internationally trained specialists from the US, France, Cuba, Venezuela, and more right here in St. Lucia. We treat chronic pain, sciatica, arthritis, lupus, nerve damage, carpal tunnel, and more with precision and care. We also offer advanced diagnostic nerve testing to detect hidden issues early before they become serious. All health insurances accepted. We assist you every step of the way. Call 451-6559 or WhatsApp 721-9950 today. La Clinique de Corps, where healing begins.
In the blink of an eye, disaster can strike. Are you ready? When the winds rage and the rain pours, will you be prepared? Don't let the next hurricane catch you off guard. At MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt, we understand the importance of preparation. From generators to plywood, we have everything you need to weather the storm. Don't wait until it's too late. Visit MNC Home Depot and Sunbelt today and make sure your family is safe and secure this hurricane season. Play it safe. Get prepared.
Calling all teens. This one's just for you. Get ready for the KFC Teen Socarama happening Saturday, June 28th from 12 to 6 p.m. at Serenity Park. It's a full day of teen talent on display. Junior soca and calypso artists, kiddie carnival bands, fashion, drama, games, and non-stop vibes. Come out and let's have some good, clean fun. No alcohol, just finger-licking goodness. So tell a friend, grab your crew, pull up to KFC Teen Socarama. See you there.
This is the most monitored talk show in the world. Let's continue with your calls and your WhatsApp messages. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, good day. This is to assist one of St. Lucia's Blind Welfare Association clients, an 8-year-old blind and multi-disabled 8-year-old boy for whom a house is being built by a charitable group. He lives with his unemployed father, who is his caregiver. Please support a worthy cause. And I think there's a message there that we might go through at some point in time. There's a particular event, and that's on the 16th, 7:30 p.m. Entrance fee is $20. I can't make out where that activity will be taking place, so maybe the individual can send me some more information. Another WhatsApp message. Somebody says they're trying to hijack Newsmaker Live. I saw a producer singing. Okay. All right, let's see if we have another. Okay, I think I should read. He doesn't mind. Okay, let's see there. Tim, they're trying to hijack Newsmaker Live. I saw your producer singing for his supper in the chat last week. Well, Tim, you have more reason to vote UWP because this will not happen under United Workers' Party government. Call names, Tim. Don't be afraid. We need to know who these politicians are. It's time we start holding these politicians to account. And another WhatsApp message. Tim, here for South is smelling. It smells of garbage and dead animals. Another one. I want to know what would Rihanna think about a government which pleads diplomatic immunity when challenged in court to prove its innocence in corruption matters. And let's see if we have another one. Hi, team, I agree with you 100%. You have your character and a name to protect and most of all your best interests. You are doing a great job, however, you like Ruru. And another one, wake up, we need the SLP out of office, especially Dennery South. Vote them out, vote the UWP in, Dennery South, bend for the Den. And another WhatsApp message. Imagine the Prime Minister talking about hatred, and when Alan Shastney tried shaking his hand at a church service as a sign of peace, he walked away. Tim, why are we surprised that the SLP is acting in government? Sir John said years ago that they are only good in opposition. That is where all their skills are. They have an opposition degree from the University of Malawi. Even when they are in government, they still have an opposition mentality. Will they ever change? What's happening in the chat room, Amanda?
A few comments from Lee in the chat room. Someone says here, the lady said you have to be struggling to be a St. Lucian. That's so very sad. Another comment here reads, Tim, that's not the only question. The Jeremy Street Plaza renovation that needs to be asked. The need to ask whether the tenants were ever consulted properly or even compensated for their revenue lost because of not being allowed to be there for the duration of the works. And NewsSpin says there is very troubling that in 2025 much can be spent on fetes and persons have to be begging for sometimes simple medical procedures. Shake my head. Another commentary reads, it's a bit of a long one. Some people cannot help themselves. A teacher recently responded to a parent who raised a reasonable concern. Why doesn't the school schedule meetings in the afternoons, considering many parents work during the day, especially in the mornings? One of the teachers' reply was, tell Laura to work for you since she says she cares about children. That response is deeply disappointing. Here's why it's problematic. 1. Dismissive of a valid concern. Many parents struggle to attend morning meetings due to work obligations. This is a real issue that warrants understanding, not sarcasm. 2. Injecting politics where it doesn't belong. Referring to Laura or community advocate or politically exposed figure is a way of deflecting responsibility. Schools should be safe, respectful spaces for collaboration, not arenas for petty political jabs. 3. Unprofessional and counterproductive. Even if frustrations exist on both sides, educators have a responsibility to engage parents constructively. Remarks like this only serve to erode trust and discourage the parental involvement that's essential for students' success. In short, this kind of response is not right. Professionalism, empathy, and mutual respect should always guide interactions in educational settings. And someone says here, why can't some people in this country say what they want and others can't? We will not accept that for sure. I am ready for anything. Back to you, Tim.
Thank you so much, Amanda. Let's see if we could go through some of your WhatsApp messages while we await your calls. Once again at 452-2979. WhatsApp calls and messages 716-2026. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, I only hope with all this Bannon Bay issue, people don't forget the CIP. And another WhatsApp message. Good day, Tim. The SLP is called Shas Government of Roundabout, but the cul-de-sac and Union roundabouts work perfectly. The SLP spread some paint at Bois de Wange on the road and call it a roundabout. Nonsense. That's the only roundabout in 3 years. Shame on the SLP. Okay, let's see if we have some more of your messages to go through. Okay, continue to send those messages. Once again, 716-2026. And you could call as well at 452-2979. 452-2979. Somebody says there via WhatsApp, the Conway people were given land in Cicero, then some of them went right back. That's double-crossing the government. Another WhatsApp message, Tim, I believe the government is doing everything in their power to protect the victory because the government knows that if they lose the election, there can be serious implications for them and their associates. Another WhatsApp message. Okay, somebody says WhatsApp message is coming in. Somebody says, are we really at 27 homicide? Well, that's the latest that we have gotten from the authorities. And let's see if we have some more of your messages while we see if we have a call on the landline. Let's see, there was somebody saying there via WhatsApp. Tim, they must reduce the price to enter the Sulphur Springs. It is too high for locals. Aren't we the ones patronizing all the time? And in the slow tourist season, shaking my head. And another WhatsApp message. Somebody's, okay, let's see there. All right, if you have another WhatsApp message to go through. Okay, let me turn my attention now to our NewsSpin question of the day. I think we asked the question already, but it's worth asking again. Why discard the Marjorie Lambert model? Why discard the Marjorie Lambert model? And the NewsSpin news of the day. The NewsSpin news of the day reads, World Bank predicts worst decade for global growth since the 1960s. The World Bank predicts worst decade for global growth since the 1960s. And we have a WhatsApp message. Hi Tim, we need the candidate for VA4 North to stand down. He hasn't done anything for his constituency for the past 15 years, especially Vijay Kako. The road is impassable with huge potholes. We need a new candidate. We have a WhatsApp call. Hello, good afternoon. NewsSpin, you're on the air. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Tim.
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Yes, are you hearing me?
Loud and clear.
Yes, I just wanted to add on to the information I sent that you can recognize concerning the thing. It's it's from the St. Lucia Blind Welfare.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the free wings at Point Seraphine.
And when
now,
is that?
Also,
when is
on
that?
Monday, next week Monday.
From what time?
At 7:30.
7:30 p.m.
7:30 p.m.
Okay.
Yes. Also, I heard people talking about the Bananas Bay situation, and I think some of us are losing the point. It's not a matter of the development, but it's a matter of the kind of compensation given to the persons who are being displaced, and they were the ones who started expressing their dissatisfaction.
Yes.
So we are all in favor of the development, but just to know that they should be rightly compensated.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for calling. Let's see if you have another call via WhatsApp, 716-2026. Let's see if we could put this call on the air right now. Is it possible? Let's see. Good afternoon. Okay. Hello. All right. I think we have lost that call. Let's see if we could put another call on the air. Hello. Good afternoon. Hello.
Hi. Good afternoon, Tim. Are you hearing me?
Okay. I'm hearing you, caller. Go ahead with your contribution, please.
Okay, I'm really happy I came after this lady because it just proves, in St. Lucia, politicians don't take a break. Before, it used to be that when the sitting government win, that day two after election is let us come together, let us be, one people. And they tried something, but they went against what they're even saying with our independence. Duva a sum. Who is a sum? Where are we going? You understand? Because it looked like it's half of the people that is going, but the other half is being left behind. And it's really sad that, we continue to do this. And the Labour Party is so good at this. They've become so good at, divide and conquer. After an election, you are the sitting government and you keep hearing the St. Lucia Labour Party government, the SLP government. In official press releases, not the government of St. Lucia, Apparently, you will take a map and you'll see St. Lucia Labour Party country or St. Lucia Labour Party government. This is ridiculous. We are people. We have to stop dividing each other by culture, by politics and by religion. It is time that we try to come together as a people, because these people are literally looking for issues to segregate. What about trying to bring people together and make your tent wider? The Labour Party is not interested in that. They're not interested in not buying, but trying to get some UWP voters to come on their side. They're not interested in that. All they're interested in is divide and conquer. This is ridiculous. The Labour Party cannot win on their own. It has to take some UWP people saying, you know what, I'm going and vote, I'm not satisfied or I'm happy, but I'm still. The UWP cannot win on their own. It has to take, your base alone you don't have all the support in your base. It has to take some people saying, you know what, this government really makes sense. I really appreciate some of their policies, and I'm going to switch because of that. You know, this government is making sense. None of them governments are making sense, and I say that I'm not voting. That is also a contributory factor to a government winning or losing, opposition party winning or a government losing. That, you know, some people literally just don't go and vote. They're not motivated to vote. So then one party gets more than the other. That is basically the definition of how a political party gains gains the power in government. So I think the Labour Party needs to think about that. The rhetoric is too raw, it is too real, the division is too real, you understand? And even though you try and act and play something, at least do that. But right now you're not even acting. It is just there for everybody to see that you hate this person and you hate this person. Of course he hates the opposition leader. Of course he hates him. He hates him deep in his soul. He hates him. Because you come in to tell me as a day in a church where everybody used to have at least that level of respect for religion. That you could come and somebody come and they shake your hands, they try to shake your hands, and you literally refuse that person. You like, oh, it's my right to do that. You're not thinking as a minister, as a prime minister. You're not there yet. Papa bon. Anyway, Tim, it's just really sad.
Okay, Colin, thank you so much. Finally, we hear from Mr. Stephen Fevrier speaking on transparency and accountability. Those were introduced to us several years ago by Prime Minister Dr. Kenny Anthony, specifically when he got into office in 1997.
Regardless of your resource endowments, regardless of what you have, whether you have oil, gas, mineral resources, unless and until there is good governance in the country, marked by transparency and accountability, development will never take root. And Kenny Anthony, of course, thankfully introduced that term into our lexicon. Without good governance, a country could never achieve its true potential. We look at countries which have the highest levels of development. Singapore, no natural resources. That to many resource-rich countries, natural endowments, huge populations, even in our near region, development can't take root. Some of our continental neighbors across the sea, huge natural endowments, resources galore, but development continues to elude them. Why?
Bad governance?
If you don't have good governance, you don't have a country.
So, Mr. Fevrier, how would you describe good governance? What does that look like to you?
For me, transparency and accountability, and I think let me sort of double click on what transparency means. Transparency means that any action that the government takes on behalf of those people who've given the government delegated authority to act on their behalf, those individuals, us, who are the bosses of politicians, should know. It is not good enough to say that I've signed a no-bid contract, a direct award, and I'm asking you, what is the cost, what are the conditions, and the government who are subject to the people.
Let me bring you to terms with what exists here. That's not your business.
but how?
That's what your prime minister will tell you.
There's a saying that sunlight is the best disinfectant. Unless there's sunlight,
I like that term.
Unless there's sunlight,
Andrea just adopted
corruption will manifest itself. So transparency in CIP, transparency in GPH, transparency in road contracts, transparency in rental of office space, transparency in the business of the people of this country. It is our taxpayers' money. It is our responsibility to know how government is acting on our behalf. The government is not the boss. The politicians are not the boss. The people are the boss. But it is sad. It's frankly sad. And it's shocking that now the politicians seem to be the bosses of the people, the bosses of the institution, and are not being made to show for themselves how they have acted on behalf of the people. The other one is accountability. If you engage in a transaction on behalf of the people of St. Lucia, we need to know and have visibility on what are the outcomes. Example, CIP. You've sold passports on behalf of the country. Are you accounting for those resources? There was supposed to be a hotel at Canals. Where's the hotel? Where are the resources?
I also want to bring to mind here the $80 million that was borrowed by the National Lotteries Authority. The Minister of Sports refuses to even tell us who is the contractor.
There are a litany of examples, which for me is shocking. And guess what? That was never the case before. Even under the Labour Party government of Kenny Anthony, and I'm inviting Labour Party supporters who are listening to me, who know this to be true, what I am saying, to start thinking and re-establishing those values. Because if I see it as well in my party, I'll be the first one to call it out. We are too much at a critical juncture in our development. Our resources are too thin. Our time is too limited. Our people are in too much need. The lack of service delivery is too high for us to be playing around with people's resources, not accounting for those resources, and feeling that we do not need to be transparent about our actions, which should be directed to enhance the lives of those people.
Stephen Favre speaking earlier today on the program Meet the Opposition, and that brings to a conclusion today's edition of the world's most monitored talk show, NewsSpin. Please join me tomorrow afternoon, same time, 12:30. Goodbye.